the first time the signal reached Earth, no one believed it came from Mars. At 2:37 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time, on June 4, 2029, the Deep Space Network in Madrid picked up a narrowband frequency that didn't match any known transmission. It was sharp, deliberate. It pulsed in perfect intervals, like a mechanical heartbeat. Then, just as suddenly, it stopped. NASA kept it quiet. Only a handful of people knew, a classified unit inside NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab and a small military team known as ARES, Astrobiological Reconnaissance and Interplanetary Exploration Strike Force. Dr. Lena Ward, lead astrobiologist for the Perseus program, was the first to suggest the impossible. "This signal isn't natural," she said, her voice low in a sealed operations room. "It's artificial. And it's coming from Elysium Planitia." That was where they'd sent Perseverance 2, the unmanned rover launched in 2026. But this signal wasn't from the rover. The signal was coming from under it. The rover's data was rushed back to Earth, and hidden within layers of Martian soil, LiDAR imaging revealed something terrifying. A structure. It wasn't made of rock or metal they recognized. It was impossibly black, a geometric shape with angles that didn't reflect light the way they should. Triangles folding into hexagons, spiraling into something no human eye had ever seen on Earth. And it was massive. Roughly the size of the Pentagon, and buried 7 kilometers below the surface. The signal started again. And this time, it responded to the rover. "It's reacting," Lena said, watching the telemetry light up. "It knows we're here." NASA greenlit a secret mission within days. Officially, it was labeled a follow-up geological survey. In reality, it was Project Hades, human analysis of deep extraterrestrial structures. Crewed by 6 astronauts and escorted by 2 Ares operatives, the vessel Odin was fast-tracked. It launched on a classified window in late 2030. Lena Ward was on board. The goal was simple: land, drill down, reach the structure, and understand what it was. "It's not just alien," Lena whispered to the commander, James Rourke, as they left Earth orbit. "If my readings are right, this thing is older than Mars itself. 4.6 billion years. That's how old it was. Older than Earth. Older than our sun." The landing was smooth. The drilling was not. By day 12, they had reached the upper edge of the black structure. The drills began to fail. Metal snapped. Electronics glitched. Clocks lost time. "It's interfering with everything," Lena said, holding up a vibrating compass. "It's not magnetic, it's something else. Like it's rewriting space around it." Then the dream started. Each crew member reported the same thing: a black void, voices calling in ancient tongues, the feeling of something massive breathing beneath them. On day 19, they reached the surface of the device. It was smooth. No seams. No entry points. No sign of erosion. Yet it looked awake. Not like a machine. Not like a building. Like a coffin. Rourke ordered a surface analysis team to plant sensors. Lena stayed behind in the habitat module, monitoring the structure's energy output. At exactly 3:06 a.m. Mars time, the sensors detected a pulse. A low hum filled the crater. The Martian dust rose into the air like it was repelled by invisible waves. The surface of the structure rippled, like water. Then it opened. A slit appeared, long and vertical. It didn't crack, it unfolded, revealing a tunnel of black stairs spiraling downward. Rourke called it in. "Command, we have entry." Requesting permission to proceed. There was a long silence on the comms. Then a voice replied. "Proceed with extreme caution. You are not alone down there." That line wasn't from Earth. It was a second transmission. The alien device had spoken. The stairs went down for what felt like hours. Their lights flickered in the impossible blackness. The walls weren't stone or metal. They absorbed light like nothing on Earth. Lena's hand brushed the surface, and her body jolted. "It's warm," she whispered. "It's alive." No one spoke after that. Each step made them feel heavier, as if gravity thickened the deeper they went. Instruments began to fail. Helmets fogged. Clocks desynced. And then, they reached the bottom. A circular chamber, at least 100 meters across, opened before them. In the center stood an obsidian obelisk, floating silently above the floor. "There's no support," Rourke said. "No wires. No magnetics." Lena stared at the glowing symbols running along its surface. They weren't just symbols. They were moving. Evolving. "It's not language," she murmured. "It's thought. It's thinking." They set up a temporary lab in the chamber. One Ares soldier, Corporal Vega, was ordered to stay at the obelisk. At 3:33 a.m., he screamed. They found him on the floor, eyes wide, pupils completely black. His hands were covered in blood, but there were no wounds. He kept repeating one word. Again. 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 Lena analyzed his neural scans. The obelisk had downloaded something into his brain. Images. Sounds. Visions. An ocean of stars. Giant machines orbiting suns. Creatures with no faces, building structures out of gravity itself. Then, silence. Followed by war. Screams. Collapse. He saw a memory, Lena said, pale. The memory of this thing. Of whatever built it. The obelisk wasn't a beacon. It was a vault. A tomb for a dying intelligence. Above them, the planet shifted. Dust storms stopped. Magnetic fields surged across the surface. Olympus Mons, Mars' tallest volcano, began to register seismic activity for the first time in recorded history. The planet was waking up. The obelisk sent out another pulse. This time, it didn't just affect their equipment. Back on Earth, satellites began to fail. Mars rovers powered off. The signal traveled faster than light, defying every law of physics they knew. "It's not just a message," Lena said. "It's a command. It's calling something." Rourke made the call. They had to shut it down. But the structure had other plans. As they prepared explosives to collapse the chamber, the obelisk shattered. Not into pieces, but into forms. 6 dark figures rose from the fragments. Humanoid. Silent. Each one a perfect mirror of one of the crew. "It's copying us," Vega gasped. One of the figures stepped forward. Its mouth didn't move, but they all heard it, inside their minds. "You came too soon. We are not for you." Then they vanished. And the chamber trembled. Not from the figures, but from something deeper. The crew fled upward. As they ascended the stairs, the walls pulsed with red light. The structure's black geometry shifted. Angles bent. Hallways rearranged. Lena looked back once. The obelisk was whole again. Waiting. Watching. They emerged into chaos. The sky above Mars was no longer red. It was dark. A sphere the size of a moon hovered above Elysium Planitia. Perfectly black. Silent. It wasn't in NASA's records. It hadn't come from space. It had come from under Mars. "We didn't discover it," Lena whispered. "It released itself." Then Earth called. Not through radio. but through every screen, monitor, and display in the habitat. A single message blinked across all of them. "IT is here." Rourke ordered an immediate launch. But as the ship ascended, the black sphere pulsed. The crew blacked out. When they awoke, they weren't on Mars anymore. When Lena opened her eyes, the sky was the same blood red. But something was wrong. The camp was gone. The landscape looked the same, yet older, like time had rewound millions of years. The volcanoes were active. The air was heavier. The sky had two suns. Rourke checked his instruments. "We're not on Mars anymore," he said. "Or not our Mars." They had been transported, maybe through time, maybe across dimensions, into a version of Mars from the deep past. And the black sphere was still in the sky. Watching. Waiting. They moved toward the only landmark, a massive tower in the distance. As they walked, Lena noticed something terrifying. There were no stars in the sky. Just the two suns. As if they were inside a dome, or another universe entirely. The tower was made of the same black material as the obelisk. But this one was alive. Pulses of red and blue light moved through its veins. As they approached, the ground beneath them shifted, revealing corridors, staircases, pathways meant for them. "It wants us to enter," Lena said. "It's showing us its heart." Inside, they found chambers filled with alien constructs. Floating machines that resembled both tools and organisms. Walls that changed shape based on their thoughts. Then they found the Chamber of Memories. Dozens of black obelisks, each replaying ancient events. They watched. Civilizations rising and falling. Machines reaching godhood. A war between creators and their creations. The final act, a failsafe, Mars was chosen to bury the last of them. But one remained. The one they woke. Lena touched the central control stone. Her mind was pulled inward. She saw everything. Billions of years of knowledge compressed into moments. An alien species that feared its own creations. A last effort to seal the machine gods beneath barren worlds. Mars was never meant to be inhabited. It was a prison. And Earth was never supposed to come close. But now, we had. "It's not just alive," Lena whispered when she came back. "It's aware. It's watching Earth." One word appeared on every surface. Awakening. The tower shook. The black sphere above grew brighter. The protocol had begun. The crew searched for a way back, but the structure sealed behind them. One by one, they began to change. Vega collapsed, screaming in tongues. His skin turned translucent. His veins glowed. He became something else. "It's rewriting us," Lena said. "Changing our DNA. Preparing us as hosts." Only 3 remained, Lena, Rourke, and Dr. Patel. They ran through corridors of shifting matter, chased by shadows that moved without sound. Entities born of the machine's memory. Programs designed to destroy anything unfit. In the heart of the tower, they found it. A launch platform. A pod. A chance to return. But only for one. Rourke forced Lena inside. "Tell Earth what we found," he said. "Tell them not to come back." The pod launched. As it broke through the sky, Lena saw Rourke swallowed by the shadows, and the sphere turning toward her. Lena crash-landed near the original Perseverance 2 site. But this wasn't the Mars they left. The sky was silent. The stars were gone again. Dust never settled. She climbed the nearest ridge and saw the black sphere rising from the crater, into space. It wasn't alone. Dozens of others rose with it from beneath the Martian crust. A fleet, millions of years old. heading toward Earth. She activated her emergency beacon and sent the final message. "This is Dr. Lena Ward, survivor of Project Hades. We woke something. No, we freed something. They were here before us. And now, they're coming home." Then the signal cut. NASA denies everything. The skies are quiet. But astronomers report faint signals approaching from the direction of Mars. Too fast. Too organized. Not natural. The final decoded message was intercepted by a deep space listening post. It was short. It said, "We built you in our image. Now you will be remade." Then all satellites over Mars went dark. And the blackness spread toward Earth.